Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share a very easy and quick soya chunk bhurji recipe. This recipe is very easy to make and it will be prepared in less than 30 minutes. I hope you all will like the video. So now with this, let's get into the video. The first ingredient that you need for this recipe is of course soya chunk. I'm using Fortune soya chunk here. You can use any brand soya chunk that you already have in your home or that you normally use. And I'm using the medium sized chunks here. You can also use the smaller sized one. Anything is fine for this recipe. Take the required quantity of soya chunk that you want to prepare. For me here I have taken around 1.5 cup of soya chunks. So this will be around 1.5 cup of chunks. The next ingredient that you need for this recipe is some green chili, tomatoes and onions. The quantity of these can be varied depending on the amount of chunks that you have used. The next step that we have to do is soak the soya chunk in hot water. So this is a important step because we want the soya chunks to be soft. For that you have to soak this in warm water. So you may need around 20 minutes for getting the soya chunk completely soaked. So keep it aside, and then meanwhile I'm just chopping the onions and green chili. Once the soya chunks are completely soaked, rinse them and wash the soya chunks properly at least 3 to 4 times. We have to see clear water when we wash the chunks. There should not be any foam. And once you wash the soya chunks properly, the next step that we have to do is crush these chunks. So we have to crush the chunk. We don't have to make a paste. We have to just crush them. So for that I am using jar. You can also use the vegetable cutter here, but I am using mixer jar here for ease. So get these chunks crushed. It should be looking like this, what you're seeing here. The next step is take a pan, add the required amount of oil. Once the oil is heated here, add the mustard seed and then add the chopped green chilies, saute them for a while, and then add the chopped onions into it. Saute the onions well. You can also add salt at this point in time. I forgot to add salt here, so I have added it later. Then let's add the remaining masala. So we need very basic masalas in this. I'm adding a little bit of turmeric powder, coriander powder and red chili powder. Mix them well. After that add the chopped tomatoes and mix them well. Also I'm adding salt in here and a little bit of water so that the masalas are not burnt, and then add little bit of chicken masala. Once this masala is cooked properly, add the soya chunk. So the crushed soya chunk, we can add it in here and mix them well. As I said, this recipe does not take much time. We don't have to cook this keeping a lid. Just mix them well and cook it for 10 minutes. In between just give it a mix, and at the end I'm also adding the Maggi magic masala. So this gives a really nice taste in this recipe. Here my mom helping me in between. So with this the recipe is ready. So you can serve the recipe hot.